Season of the Deep comes out today. What I've been really loving lately is my Arc Hunter, and the changes in the seasonal artifact are gonna make Arc Hunter insane. Another Arc Hunter build that I like to use in a little bit harder content because it jolts the crap out of everything. Something I am super excited about is the very last thing in column 5 called Lightning Strikes Twice. After throwing an arc grenade, gain increased grenade recharge for a short time. Arc final blows extend the duration of this benefit. With this Shinobu's Vow build, you already get 2 skip grenades, and you get skip grenade return energy when it damages enemies already. Sometimes I can't throw my skip grenades fast enough, and I'm often looking down surprised like, oh my goodness, I already have another grenade? Let me throw it again. This is just going to be insane with Lightning Strikes Twice. The other thing that's really cool, perform a finisher while you're amplified. Grants amplified to nearby allies while you have an arc subclass equipped. That's cool because when you are amplified, arc final blows while you're amplified, summon a burst of lightning that damages and jolts targets. Amped up, gain damage resistance while amplified. Thunderous Retort grants bonus arc super damage if cast while critically wounded or while amplified. With those changes in mind, this build is going to be crazy. So I'm building this around the Shinobu's Vow. My stats, I like to have 100 resilience in all in-game content, 100 discipline to get more grenades, 70-ish or more mobility, and then as much as the other stuff as you can get. Let's look at the subclass. Gathering Storm is already one of the highest damaging supers in the game. So with Thunderous Retort, it's just going to be even crazier. Grants bonus arc super damage if cast while critically wounded or amplified. I really love Marksman Dodge for just skipping a reload and doing tons of damage. I typically will use this with heavy. One thing that's nice about using this with a gun like Ikelos is that when you get a kill, the reload from the dodge count to proc Volt Shot, get to your Volt Shot super fast with Marksman Dodge. Disorienting Blow, I like this for the blind, really helpful in in-game content, and it amplifies you, which now does a ton of extra stuff besides what it already did. And then Skip Grenades with Shinobu's Vow, of course. And with these, you're going to want to hit it on the ground to split it, and then they'll seek out. And with Shinobu's Vow, they're even better at seeking than normal. And with Spark of Shock, they jolt everything, and it's just a blast to watch them go destroy everything and have so many of them. And then I really have fallen in love with Tempest Strike. This thing's so fun to run up and jolt everything in front of you. It really does a ton of damage. So I like to use this on large groups of ads. Just slide in there and throw up this jolting attack. Flow State, feeding a jolted target makes you amplified. While you're amplified, your dodge recharges more quickly. You are more resilient while dodging, and your reload speed is greatly increased. You can really feel this reload speed, and just being amplified now does more, and your amplified is going to last longer from the new seasonal mods. And with your skip grenade jolting targets with Spark of Shock, you're going to be constantly defeating jolted targets, and with Volt Shot or things like that, just everything's going to be jolted to constantly be amplified. With so many things being jolted, from you're having tons of skip grenades and Tempest Strike from Spark of Shock, I like to run Spark of Ions. Defeating a jolted target creates an ionic trace for just even more ability spamming, even more grenades. Spark of Amplitude, rapidly defeating targets while you are amplified, creates an orb of power. This can make a ton of orb because you're constantly amplified. Spark of Feedback. This I don't use for the first part. I use it for the plus 10 resilience. I just don't have the best armor for my Shinobu's Vow build yet. But the first part does. Taking melee damage briefly increases your outgoing melee damage, and it does count for Tempest Strike. So if you do get hit by melee, you can Tempest Strike and do even more damage with that. Then for the mods, I have this really built around grenades. So Ashes to Assets, gain super energy on grenade kills. Dynamo, so you get super back real fast with all these things. Harmonic Siphon for Arc Siphon. Shinobu's Vow has 2 grenade kickstarts and a firepower to create an orb on a final blow with a grenade. On my chest, I got 1 charged up, increase how many armor charges I can carry, whatever resistances I need for what I'm running. On this version of Arc Hunter, I don't have any inherent healing or shield, so I run better already and recuperation, and that can really make the difference in feeling tanky or not. And because we're making so many orbs with Harmonic Siphon, with Firepower, with Spark of Amplitude, you really can feel the benefits of these. Arc Weapon Surge, Font of Restoration, just because my recovery is pretty low at 40. This does plus 30 recovery while I have an armor charge, so it really is more like I have 70 recovery recovery because I almost always have an armor charge. And then 2 bombers, reduce grenade cooldown when using your class ability. All right, let's talk about the weapons. Next season, we're going to have anti-barrier auto rifle. And so with that in mind, I like this Firefright. It's craftable and you can put osmosis on it. You can turn it into an arc weapon, which is a big deal because shock and awe arc final blows while you amplified summon a burst of lightning that damages and jolts target. So it's kind of like it has volt shot, even though it's a kinetic weapon. If I don't have to worry about barriers, then I don't have to run an auto rifle and I can run something else. I could run Wither Horde, Riptide, which does Unstoppable, and Overload. Overload's not a problem because arc jolt effects will stun them, and I have so many things that can jolt. Unstoppable are kind of a problem unless I can kill them fast, because the only thing I have that can blind and stun them is my melee. And next season for Unstoppables, we have Unstoppable Hand Cannon and Unstoppable Glaive. So with that, I'll probably be wanting to run a hand cannon. Then other things that are really great for this build is obviously the Ikelos with Volt Shot, Tarnished Metal with Shoot to Loot, and Shoot to Loot's getting buffed next season where you can shoot orbs and collect them. Phylotactic Spiral with Volt Shot is great, but I really do think this Shoot to Loot, Volt Shot, Path of Least Resistance is going to feel incredible in the new season. There's some exotic arc weapons you can run in your energy slot with Trinity Ghoul. I really like this for clearing waves of ads, of little guys, and then Risk Runner. And then for heavy weapons, there's a bunch to choose from. Anarchy does a ton of damage. Thunderlord's getting a little bit of a nerf, but I think it's probably still going to be really good. Terminus Horizon is really great with Demolitionist target lock. Wendigo is wonderful with auto-loading holster. Explosive Light for some burst damage. And then the best rocket in the game, Hothead. I really like this one, especially for this build with Demolitionist. Having all those grenades to just reload like crazy. But yeah, that's my Shinobu's Vow Arc Hunter build. I really love this thing. It's so much fun to play. And there's going to be even more grenades with it in just a few hours when Season of the Deep launches. Can't wait. Thank you so much for watching. I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Seriously, it means a lot to me that you're here and watching this video. Give this build a try and then come back and let me know what you think. I think it's a ton of fun. See you next time. Peace.